there was. Then I bought like Slim and Six, Yoga Booty Ballet they had back then, P90X, and I knew about coaching, which back then was the message boards, because I worked in the entertainment industry. I worked as like a producer, assistant producer in the music biz, and I really worked for a thankless job. And I loved nutrition. I loved health. I did that sort of playfully on the side, but I didn't know how I could start living a life where I was helping others. And so coaching appealed to me, but I didn't understand the gateway back then. I didn't have a coach myself. And so cut to 8 years later, and I actually had moved into fitness and wellness in my own life because I just wanted that. And I started teaching yoga, and I started, cleansing, and I got certified to be a holistic health practitioner, which basically just meant I learned a lot about health. I didn't, I got a certificate that says I know something about something, but it doesn't give me a business. So for the past 6 years, I've really struggled as a yoga teacher full time, teaching 15 to 20 classes a week, teaching nutrition and that sort of thing to yoga students. And I actually worked for a superfood company for a while, but in the end, I still made pretty much the same amount every single year. And it was really a thankless amount. It was really tough to get by. And my body was exhausted. So, found Amy on Instagram. I knew it was a Beachbody thing. And as soon as I knew it, I was like, well, this is cool. I remember about that coaching thing. Didn't think there was any money in it. And she was like, well, you can actually earn 6 figures in 2 years if you really want to. And I'm like, that's interesting. Didn't realize I had any sort of like network model to it, which has always freaked me out. I've never done anything with networks. So I was like, that is just freaky deaky stuff. I don't like it. So I signed up with her as a coach to get my discount and basically just start on T25. And she's like, just do it. Do it like it's your job to do it. Lose the weight that you want to lose. Feel good about yourself. Inspire a couple people along the way and see where it takes you. And I did. And little did I know that right away I was going to start earning commissions, because my goal was not even like sell challenge packs. It was like, get accountability partners, Meredith, because you are going to fail if you don't, because you're a freak and you're not going to press play on 25-minute workout because you're lazy. So I needed to get accountability partners. So I reached out to everyone I knew that liked to do boot camp classes with me, or like people that would call me up sometimes and be like, hey, do you want to go for a walk? I just started reaching out to everyone. I was like, I just signed up for this freaking 60-day challenge. I can't believe I'm doing it. I'm totally committed and I need partners. Like, will you do this with me? Do you want to do this? Let's get fit together. And I had enough people say yeah that I started to earn some paychecks. And with my very first paycheck, I reinvested it in my business. Because I'm like, if I'm going to make this a business, I've got to put money in it, right? I've got to treat this like a real business. So I reinvested my first $100 in an extra box of Shakeology. I watched a video you can Google. It's from, it's called How to Share Shakeology. I randomly found it on Google because I love Google. It teaches you so much about life. And so I Googled How to Share Shakeology. Found this video from Tracy Morrow from Summit about 2 years ago, where she was like, yeah, I get the little packets, I slap a recipe on it, my website, and I basically sell them. I never give them away, because that's like giving away, like, when you give something away for free, people don't put a value on it. Let's say that. So you've got to be very smart about the things you do offer for free and make sure that there's a deadline on those, and don't just give away Shakeology. So I would charge people $5 unless I booked a meeting with them, and the meeting would be about coaching. I actually started very network business model-y, because even though my personally sponsored coach is number 2 in the company, she's not a hand holder. She'll be the first person to tell you. She gives you the tools for the business. You take it and you run with it, or you don't. And she's there in the groups and online, but if you don't show up, you don't get the tools. So I basically opened my business on my own, and I was like buying Success Magazine and the Shakeology packets and meeting with friends and showing them the business, and like, I'm already earning income. You guys should try this, and that's kind of how I started. And I didn't have I didn't have a slow start. I was earning commissions, but I didn't have a team start. It was like commissions. It was like I was hustling challenge packs and getting a couple coaches on board, but of course I didn't know what to do with them because I didn't even know what the hell I was doing. So that's where it started. And like I said, I was getting some commission checks. Well, lo and behold, about 3 months in, so I started September 2013. So I made it through T25, and right as soon as I got Gamma Round, my back went out, and I have suffered from chronic back issues for a very long time. About quarterly, yearly, my back would go out like really bad, and this time it went out like never before. And I literally was like, I don't know what I can do. I I can't really teach. I mean, I can go in and walk around the classroom and talk, but I can't like adjust people. I can't physically do yoga. I can't do my workouts anymore. I can't do anything. Like, I am freaking broken. So that month of January was really hard, just trying to like settle into my body. I started to get range of motion back towards the end of January. I thought a little bit. I thought I was healing. And lo and behold, the very beginning of February, my back completely went out. I thought it was already completely out, but I learned it wasn't. And it went out completely in February. And I was literally paralyzed. And when I say that, I mean it. I was paralyzed. I was bedridden for a month. I could not walk. I had an L4-5 laminectomy is the surgery I ended up having, but my L4-5 disc was severely herniated and torn, which caused, if you've ever had any injuries in your family with back, you'll know about this, but it causes such searing pain down your leg that essentially when it first happened, I thought it was like a Charlie horse that wouldn't give. So I was crying all night, like, my boyfriend's like, do we need to take you to the hospital? And I'm like, I don't even know how, like, I don't want to live. I don't know what this is. It is the worst thing in the world. And so I got basically, with insurance, you have to get cleared for your MRIs. You have to get cleared for surgery and all that stuff. So it took a month. So for the entire month of February, I was hopped up on painkillers, laying on a couch, and I could not work. I could not go to the yoga studio and teach. I could not walk. I could not even walk on crutches. I had a caretaker. I had someone that took care of me. And this couch right here is where I lived because the bed in the bedroom is too high to get on. So I slept here for a month straight and wore the same pants every day. Sexy, right? So not good stuff. But that was a big turning point for me because as I laid here with ice packs, whining and moaning, I made sure every single day I'd have my shake and I would take my pain pills. And you know what I did? I was like, this is it. This is the moment that it's make it or break it. I don't know if I can ever teach yoga again. My career is gone. I don't know if I'm ever going to walk again. I don't know if I'm ever going to get off this couch again. I did not know if I was going to get range of motion back. And my doctor even said, I can't guarantee. Like, you've got drop foot, you've got a severe condition. I have no idea if you're going to get your range of motion back. But if you do surgery, there's a 95% chance you'll get it back. And if you don't, yeah, you're going to be paralyzed. So pretty scary times. But in that moment, I was like, okay, I'm going to take this to the next level. And I literally laid on this couch on my back because I could not sit up, propped my legs, and I knew that was like me. So, your demographic is like you. Tony Robbins says people follow you because they are like you or they want to be like you. So you need to have a vision for where you're going and what your team, not your team with your upline, but your team from you on down, where your team is going. You have to have a vision for them. So my vision was to help other people that were like me, which means you're a fitness professional and you already help a lot of people and you're not getting paid for it. And I know you're working hard and you're not being paid your worth. So I reached out to just about every fitness professional that I knew, started sending them emails and saying, hey, so-and-so, forming. I've been thinking about you. Like, I don't know if you've been following what's been going on with me. I'm flat on my back these days. Really opened my eyes to what happens when, us as fitness professionals, like when our bodies give out and blah, 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 blah. And I opened up the coaching opportunity and I said, I've been doing something lately that's been helping a lot of people and it's allowed me to open up my own business. And now it is my saving grace because I can't work and it's the only thing that's paying the bills. And it's actually paying me more than yoga is paying me, which at the time might not have been true. But, talk about what you're walking into, cultivate your dreams. So I started building a team when I was flat on my back and I couldn't even do the workouts. You know how I ran my challenge group? I would literally, when everybody did their accountability, I would write in, I meditated today and I had Reiki done on me today. And I was very honest and very vulnerable with my journey. And I said, I cannot wait till I can, lift a weight again. And please work out extra hard for me. And people rallied. It was incredible. So a lot of healing energy. A month went by, I got my surgery. The day after surgery, I was on a walker walking again. It was amazing, but recovery took a really long time. I could not bend, twist, fold, do anything for months. Luckily, I got cleared to go on the Success Club cruise, which I had already earned in the short 3 months that I was a coach. I had earned enough points to get that trip for free. So I hope you are all on the cruise wait list for next year. But went on the cruise. Me and my girlfriend are there, and we met a bunch of people that were normal freaking people. everyday, normal, awesome, regular Beachbody coach for 6 years. I've been a Beachbody coach for like 3 years. Oh, I just started coaching 2 years ago. Oh yeah, I earned, like when you really break it down, start talking to them, they're like, yeah, I earned 6 figures, or, talking about their favorite personal development books, or sitting down and laying out with Tara Carr. I don't know if you guys know who she is. She's amazing. Like getting success tips from her while I'm laying out at the pool. Like freaking awesome people rubbing elbows with. And I brought a coach of mine on the team, one of my first coaches, and we were like, what the H? Why not us? Why not us? There is nothing different between us and everyone else here, except for I'm cooler. No, I'm just kidding. But you know how sometimes, like, I'm going to be honest, and I'm a yoga teacher, so I'm allowed to say this because, we always talk about non-judgment, but we all have eyes of judgment, and yes, we all do size people up. And I will look at people and be like, that girl is adorable, but like, what is the difference between me and her? Nothing. There's nothing different. Her hair looks better than mine because she's got more money than me. She's been a coach for 3 years. When I'm a coach for 3 years, my hair is going to look freaking awesome. She's got better clothes than me because she's been coaching for 3 years and she makes money. When I'm coaching for 3 years, I'm going to have better clothes. Like that was the only difference. But the personalities, people that are so genuine and so real. I mean, we got off the boat and we were waiting for a taxi cab, and Mike Ryan was in line with us. We didn't know at the time. Down to earth, most amazing person, and he's just telling us, like, he's just talking to us like, don't ever give up, don't ever give up. And it's like, then later we learn who he is, and we're like, oh my gosh, we're meeting the most freaking amazing people, and they're just real. Some of them still have day jobs. They do what they love to do, and they do this on the side, So that's really where it started for me. I was like, this is it, man. I'm doing this. And then my coach also kind of dangled a carrot. She was like, anyone that gets to she didn't have any 5-star elites on her team. So she was like, anyone that gets to 5-star elite this year, I'm going to take on a elite adventure to Belize. And I was like, what? Belize? So she kind of dangled a carrot. We ended up going to Jamaica, but that pretty much was a thing for me. Like, I didn't know what elite points were. I didn't know anything. Like, whatever you guys know right now is pretty much the same stuff I know. Like, I literally will email someone and be like, I have no idea what they're talking about. Or one of my coaches will ask me, like, hey, how do you get elite points? And I'm like, I don't even know. I just helped everybody. Like, go off this and learn. I'm just doing what I did last year, and that was just, like, helping everybody I can help and helping every team member of mine succeed. So, in all honesty, you're going to be a rookie for a really long time. And there's so much awesomeness in being a rookie because you end up, failing your way up, if you want to say it that way. I mean, there's no really such thing as failure, but we all make mistakes and we learn from those mistakes, and it's experience that helps us grow and choose to make the same mistakes or not, or choose to have the same experiences or not. But basically in the end, like, she dangled that carrot. I'm like, I'm going to do this. I'm going to be 5-star elite. And all I did was recruit my fanny off. I asked everybody and their mom about the coaching opportunity. I mean, even the other day we were at Trader Joe's checking out, and by the time we walked out of the store, my boyfriend Andy was like, so is he a coach of yours? And I'm like, not yet, but that's pretty much how it goes. No matter where I go, I run into someone that's, well, anywhere we go, we'll be at the farmer's market and I'll be, oh, Andy, this is Tennille. And he's like, oh, who's that? I'm like, oh, she's Coach Mine. Because all I do is talk to people about how freaking awesome my life is as a coach. And even now, you guys, like, my life isn't like a life that maybe everybody would love. I work around the clock. I've jumped 2 feet into this coaching business, and that means, like, yeah, I'm going to be on your webinar at 6:30. It's 6:30 my time. I'm in California. And then when I hang up, I've still got all my emails to do. I've got Facebook posts to do. I've got to get in my groups. I got to set up my stuff for tomorrow for my Coach Basics. Like, my day started today at 4:50 in the morning. I still teach yoga. I teach 3 classes. I taught 3 classes a day and 3 tomorrow. So that's 6 hours of my day. So my first yoga class was at 6, but I had to be at the studio at 5 because the yoga, the studio requires us to be there early. So I work my business full time, but I still have a part-time job, and it takes up a lot of my time, but it's something I'm passionate about, and I'm not working for anybody else. I was working full time anyway. I was doing so much stuff working for other people, and I wasn't making any money. And at the end of my first year with Beachbody, I'm very cards on the table. So you guys, like, I don't know if you even talk about this stuff, Becca, but I'm going there. So my first, I'm first, I should say, I'm very financially driven. I'm 38 years old, and I have always earned somewhere since I started teaching fitness and nutrition. I've always earned somewhere between like 30 and like we'll say 55 would be a really high year for me, 30 and 55,000. And I'm not saying that's bad, but when you're 38 years old and you have no savings and you have to pay for your own health insurance, and you know, you watch your salary for 6 years pretty much stay very even. It's not really going anywhere. It's pretty discouraging. And I knew there had to be a really big change. And so literally in my first year with Beachbody, I closed last year at $90,000. 60,000 of that was Beachbody. 30,000 of that was with yoga and all the other things that I do. So you can kind of see I almost kept my job full time for the first year. So I really worked a lot my first year. And now here it is, my second year. I'm 17 months into coaching. I compared my March numbers this year to last year. My last week, I haven't done this week yet. Last week in March, 1 week I made $500. This week in March, I made $1,800. So if you guys have read if you haven't read the Compound Effect, read it, because this business is the compound effect in action. That's exactly what this business is. So stick your nose in the compound effect, learn it. Do not ever, 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 ever give up, because as long as you are doing your vital behaviors, and as long as you're doing this for you, number one, to stay healthy and fit and be accountable and live a lifestyle that you know is of your worth. Like, you deserve to have good health. You deserve to feel good and to have a supportive, motivating community and have people positive that are giving you information to run anything you want to do with your life. Any dream you have, you can completely fulfill. But, you know, if you're hitting tough spots, if you're hitting plateaus, if you're like, I can't break through, you just got to start throwing new things up at the wall and seeing what sticks. I reinvent myself every freaking day. I throw things up, I delete them sometimes. I'm like, well, that didn't work. I'll just take that right down. And then sometimes I leave it up anyway, because it's kind of like a big FU. Like, I don't care. This is me. I'm going to look back on this in 4 years and be like, all right, that's that. So, you know, I just say, just keep putting yourself out there, do your vital behaviors, help everyone, and go in with the intention that you're helping people. I think one of the biggest struggles on my team for my coaches, and one that I battled with at first, was getting people on as coaches. Like, I could sell a challenge pack, like picking up a seashell at the beach. I could sell a challenge pack like crazy, but I could not get people to sign up as coaches. And the two things that helped me, one was recognizing that until I paid it forward and offered people the opportunity that I had been given, which is the opportunity I really love. Because let's be honest, if I'm not a Beachbody coach now, I would have stopped doing Beachbody programs consistently where I was getting results like a year and a half ago, like right after T25. I probably would have went back to drinking, back to eating crap, back to doing yoga, and I wouldn't see progress in my body, and everything I got would have fallen off. So coaching has kept me accountable long term. Coaching has offered me this opportunity to speak to all you guys and meet you guys and have a team myself of amazing individuals that I'm so looking forward to helping find independence through financial freedom, as well as just living a life they love and having a job they love. But in the end, I'm not taking their money. So that was a big deal to me when she pointed out, like, dude, there's all these people that want to stay on Shakeology, and every month you're pocketing $32 on these people. Like, give them the break, give them the $32 off, help them get signed up as a coach so that they have all of the same like opportunities you have, but that they're saving money. I was like, oh man, I had all these friends in my challenge group, and I was like, dude, I can't take their money. So I talked to them and I was like, hey, you guys, you know, and I was just like, I really want you to do this coaching opportunity. I think it's fantastic. It's what's kept me accountable, and you're going to save on your Shakeology. And, you know, I'll show you how to actually earn your Shakeology for free. Or if you drink more than one shake a day like me, I'll show you how to get a couple boxes for free in a month. So that's really how it all started. And like I said, the business for me didn't really take off until I started selling the business and reaching out about the business. Because you guys might be like, hey, I can run a challenge group like crazy, or I'm really digging the challenge group and I'm comfortable talking about it because it's where I've had success. Maybe I haven't had success as a coach yet. But when you first started running challenge groups, you didn't have success with your challenge groups yet. You know, there's that weird icky hurdle you got to get over. And it's the same way with coaching. Like, you just got to start advertising the coaching opportunity. So look at your Facebook feed, look at your Instagram feed. When's the last time you put a video up? When's the last time you shared what's been going on with you? When's the last time you invited somebody for the opportunity? Not just as like a social media post. When's the last time you did a video talking about the success you've had or what you earned, or shared what your coaches gained? Maybe you didn't get anything this month, but you saw like one coach on your team paid her rent. Why don't you share that? Why don't you say, oh my gosh, I'm so proud of my teammate so-and-so who just paid her rent this month from coaching. I'm so excited this is an opportunity I'm a part of, and I cannot wait for my entire team to have that same opportunity. Like, share that. Reach out to individuals, because there's something different about a Facebook post from a personal invite. Like, what if you saw your friend blast something like, oh my gosh, I'm looking for people. It's so awesome. It's so amazing. If you want to do something that changes your life, reach out to me. And you read it and you're like, oh, that's cool. It's not personal. You're like, oh, that's cool. You think about it for a minute and you scroll by. And then maybe on a day where you're not like loving yourself, you think about it again and you're like, oh, what did she post one day? But what's the difference when like somebody actually reaches out to you straight up and they say your name and they say, hey Becca, I've been thinking about you a lot lately. I don't know if you've seen what I've been doing, but it's really been affecting my life a lot. It's been helping a lot of people. I can't even tell you how amazing I think you'd be at this because of how well you hold space for other people, or for how much you give. Because I know how much you care about health and well-being and helping others. Have you considered doing what I do? And people will literally be like, oh my God, I don't really know what you do, but I see stuff that looks so fun. You just have to ask people. You have to ask. I was thinking about this actually in my car today. I was thinking about how like we're all scared to ask, right? There's fear with everything. We're like, I'm scared to ask that people to join my challenge group. Oh, I'm scared to ask that person about a coaching opportunity because they already have a rad job, or they might think I'm like a freaky network person, or like I'm just scared. Well, okay, what if you were a waitress? Maybe some of you are. What if you're a waitress and you were scared to go up to the table and be like, hi, do you want something to eat? Right? Like, the person's never going to order. Yeah, they want something to eat, but they're never going to order. Or what if, like, the restaurant told you, like, hey, will you please offer up these amazing specials we have tonight? And you were scared to offer them up because you thought that the person at the table did not want the mahi-mahi. Like, you thought maybe you were ripping them off by telling them the most expensive thing on the menu, so you're scared to share it. When, in fact, that person came to that restaurant because they wanted the special. But you don't know. But you didn't want to offer it because you were scared of what they think about you. But that's exactly what they wanted. It's like, we have all this fear, but in the end, like, we hear no's every day. Hey, do you want a diet soda? People come over. Hey, do you want a water? Oh, no, thanks. No, I'm good. Right? We hear no's all day long. Hey, do you want to cut in line in front of me? Do you have less things than me? Oh, no, I'm good. I'll just go behind you. I hear no's all day long. Hey, you want a hot dog? No, that's me. I say no. I don't like hot dogs. But you know what I'm saying? Like, people, you'll hear no's all day long, and it doesn't hurt you. It doesn't break your heart. And the only reason why this is breaking your heart is because you have invested so much of your heart and passion into it that you're like, I can't take anybody saying no. It's rejection. It's like my boyfriend's breaking up with me, right? It's not rejection, and it's not a no. It's just not right now. They need to see more. I have people that are just now coming around. I asked them to be a coach a year and a half ago. I asked them to be in a challenge a year ago. I invited them. I formed them. I met them, and I was like, oh, new contact in my network. Do you want to join a Coach Think Peek? And they did a year ago. And I reach out to them again, and I'm like, hey, I'm running a Coach Think Peek. It's a year later. Do you want to take a look? Yeah, you know what? It's crazy. I've been thinking about you so much lately, and I was just talking about this with a coworker the other day. A year later. That's why you never give up. This is a business of longevity. It's not a business that happens overnight. You have to stay with it. As a matter of fact, one of the very first calls I ever got on with Team Beachbody, the person, I don't even know who it was, but they said, whatever you stay with long enough, you will eventually be successful at. And that was super huge for me because, as you can see, I'm Vata. I'm like crazy all over the place. I'm like a Jane of all trades. I get good at something and I'm like, I'll move on, I'm over it, blah, whatever. Like, I'm like that. And so I was like, well, shoot, I probably could have made $1 million by now at, my jewelry business or, my cooking business, my raw foods business, my personal coaching, like all these things I did. I could be a millionaire by now if I would have just stuck with it, but I didn't because it was so freaking hard. And this is like given to you on a silver platter. Like, here's your websites. All you do is plug your name in. Here's your scripts. All you do is copy paste them. Here's the fitness and nutrition. All you do is give it to them. Like, it couldn't be any easier business. It is plug and play. It's like, oh my gosh, really? All I have to do is give someone a package and say, go. I'm going to be your cheerleader. Let's do it together. And I'm going to get fit in the process and I'm going to make money. Like, dude, I remember when I used to be 30 pounds heavier than I am now. And I was not happy in my body. I'm still working towards goals, but I was really unhappy in my body, we'll say. And I can remember thinking, looking at like Jennifer Aniston, we'll use her as an example because I think she has a rocking body. So I remember looking at her and being like, yeah, well, like whatever, if I was making $1 million or getting paid all day long to have a personal trainer or like go to the gym for 2 hours because I was going to look amazing and then make a bunch of money, then yeah, maybe I'd be motivated to be on the elliptical for 2 hours. Well, guess what? Now I'm getting paid to look good and I only have to work out for half an hour. So eat my dust, Jennifer Aniston. But that's the whole thing, is that it's like before in my life, I was always like, well, of course, what if I would have that too, if, and it's like this company, this opportunity has given me all of those blanks for my ifs. And now it is my turn to step up my own personal game, get self-motivated, because nobody else is going to change my life but me, right? No one's going to change your life but you. So you've got to up your game and decide you're going to make a change. Because until you get out of that comfort zone, and the comfort zone is that area where you feel like unicky. So when you start to write someone back and you're like, oh no, this script feels really weird. It's so icky. I do not want to do this. Oh, I don't want to do it. Do it. Because that's where everything's going to change. You've got to get outside your comfort zone. And the funny thing is all the shiz that felt really like icky to me in the beginning, where I'm like, I'm not going to use the scripts. That's so inauthentic. I'm not going to do that. That's the stuff I use now. Why? Because 1, it works. 2, because it's easy. 3, because it's duplicatable. And 4, because it saves freaking time and it gets people to talk. And it works. 5, it works. So, you guys, do whatever Becca's telling you to do it. Be teachable. Whatever your upline's telling you to do it. Look at what successful people do. Don't try to be anyone else. Be you. The reason why people already follow you is because they are like you or they want to be like you, right? So just be you, be authentic, have fun, like learn as much as you can, get on every webinar, get on every national wake-up call. That's all I did. I made it my goal to get on every national wake-up call, every team webinar. I go to every Super Saturday, every local event, every success trip. I learned as much as I could. I was in the FAQ, I was on Google, I found success partners, right? And sometimes I think some of the best success partners you can get are the ones that aren't on your team. Because like Becca was saying, like you guys are in a family pod, so you learn from one another. But like I've met, like Becca's one of my success partners. I've got success partners from all sorts of different teams with all sorts of different uplines. And so I get to learn from other people. And that helps me expand and grow. And that's not my upline that does that for me. My coach has given me incentives, support, and she showed me where I can find information. She has not held my hand at all. I exhausted myself the first year of the business trying to hold hands with people because I was like, I'm not going to leave you high and dry like my coach left me, all moo, all sad. And now I'm like, freaking A, of course. That's why she did it, because the strong will survive. If you want to open up a business, you got to rise up. You got to do it on your own. Your coach is there to support you. They are not there to handhold you. It is up to you to get on the calls. It is up to you to do the trainings. If you can't get in the Coach Basics training, guess what? It's in the back office. Get in there. Do it yourself. So, tough love is kind of, I'm not a B. I'm not a B to anyone. I'm really loving. But at the same time, it's the honest truth. You've got to rise above. You've got to get out of your comfort zone and you've got to be willing to put time in. And if you're like, I don't have any time in my day, you start making really small sacrifices. Like I started off teaching 20 yoga classes a week when I started Beachbody, somewhere between 15 and 20. Now I'm doing 7. So I still teach yoga. but I've lowered it down in the past year and a half. Slowly, I kept giving more and more room for Beachbody. It was like, oh, I got a paycheck. That means my business is growing, and I need to create more space to see where it'll go. Because if I don't create the space for it, then I only set my own limitations, my own boundaries on how big I can make my business. And my business is $1 million business. I don't know about you. I would hope that you've decided your business is $1 million business, but you've got to decide that for yourself. There's many times that I've walked through in this past year, like, I quit. I'm done with this. This is too hard. It is too hard because I'm working too hard. And I shut down my computer and I piss and I moan and I go out and I'm like, really? My life is so hard. I'm doing something I love. I'm just working too hard on a vacation I earned because I helped 3 people this month change their life. Oh, and I changed my life. Oh yeah, I guess it's not so bad. I guess I should stick with it. But there'll be lots of times where you hit walls and you're like, this sucks, man. It is hard. And it's not. It's that you're working too hard. You just need to shut your brain off for like a while and meditate and take care of you again. Because you might have forgotten about your vitals. You might not be doing your PD, or you might not be doing your workouts. Maybe you didn't drink your shake and you're tired, you're cranky because you didn't get your Shakeology yet. Okay, anyway, I'm not gonna talk anymore. I don't know if should I mute myself? I'm gonna mute myself so someone else can talk. I'm muting. Peace out.
No, you don't. You don't have to mute. That was awesome. I had to mute myself because I kept laughing, and I was like, I don't want everybody to like hear me laughing all in their ears. Okay, let me see. I saw people talking in the chat.
Becca, you're muted.
Oh no. Is that better? I just hit it and it like went back. Can you guys? Okay, you can hear me now. What I was saying was that I was gonna look through the chat because I feel like I saw questions popping up. Let's see. I know I saw Sarah pop up a question. Where did it go? If anybody had one they want to rewrite. Okay, here it is. Meredith, I would love to hear how you share the coaching opportunity with strangers, especially in the beginning when you weren't making a full-time income.
I don't necessarily just talk about the coaching opportunity with strangers right off the bat. So I form. Do you guys know forming? Family, occupation, recreation, message. So that's in our coach basics. So you always want to form people. It all depends on the situation, though. Like one time I was at the grocery store. I was at Whole Foods in the bulk aisle, and this woman was next to me. And she's flax seeds and the gold flax seeds, like, do they make a difference? And I was like, oh, actually, I have a whole page on Facebook that I run with nutrition content. You should follow it. You'll learn all this stuff. And I took her name on Facebook and we linked up. So, that's a great way to start forming people. If someone likes on an image of yours, like a friend of a friend, you can send a little note to them and just be like, hi, so-and-so, thanks so much for, showing interest in, my transformation. Can I